Good evening, everybody. So tonight, I wanted to go over 20 things that occur in a narcissistic home, make you unhappy living with a narcissist as a child or as a spouse. Let's jump in. So number one, the narcissist is always going to be head of the house. Because why? They always need power and control. But these are all going to get down to power and control and supply. These are things I'm giving you because I want you to run away from the narcissists because they're just useless. They're no good for you. If somebody else wants them, they can have them. Number two, there is domestic violence typically in a narcissistic home. Now, sometimes you won't call it domestic violence, but a lot of times the children, they don't just get spankings, man. They get destroyed. And sometimes the wife does as well. And it's just an unpeaceful place to be. Number three, the household is voiceless, meaning everybody that lives in a household with a narcissist, the head narcissist runs and rules the ship. Like I call it the mini cult. So a cult is always, there's one leader, right? And you do what they say or else there's repercussions. And so with the narcissist, they're going to be the head and you're going to do as you're told or else there's going to be repercussions. There's going to be a price to pay. And we always think the people that look at them in the physical realm, they like to think, oh, they're so slick or they're so good at what they do. They're good at being a narcissist and they're very intelligent. When you take a look at it from another point of view, like a spiritual point of view, then it all makes sense that they're getting help from the underworld. And you really cannot combat that kind of stuff a lot of times when you're around it because we're not meant to be around it. When you are forced to be in a situation with these individuals, it's very difficult and you're never happy. Number four, the narcissist is always going to decide whatever you're going to eat, whatever you're going to drink, what meals you're going to have. They're going to pick everything out and you're just going to have to deal with it. There is no choices in a narcissistic family hierarchy. And if there is, there's some sort of transaction where it benefits the narcissist, just like anything else. They will never do anything for you unless there's a benefit in it for them, like praise for them for your achievement or something. And as bad as they are, as evil as they are, everything they do is anti-humanity, okay? So whatever you're going to be eating, whatever you're going to be drinking, it's not going to be excellent. When you are in a narcissistic family household, you're either going to get too much food, too little food, the wrong types of food, unhealthy food. And it's just unhealthy. Everything that they do and everything that's around them, everybody, everything living that's around it, even non-living stuff gets destroyed with them. They're just unhealthy individuals. And when you got somebody that's out for your destruction all the time and to manipulate, not even just for their benefit, but to destroy you and to lift themselves up. I mean, you just have to run because even in areas like this, it's destructive. Number five, the narcissist is going to manage all the money in the family household. They are going to be the controllers of all the money because if they leave, you best believe they're going to leave you high and dry, the whole family high and dry. They're the kings and the queens. They're the oligarch in the family. That's always going to be the case because power and control and abandonment issues. They manipulate every which way. Well, to manipulate, you need money. And they don't have to hide things as much if they're controlling everything. Number six is shouting and cursing is going to be in the narcissistic household. And that just is what it is. There's no peace in a narcissistic household because they create chaos, pandemonium. They always have to get supply. And a major source of supply that people don't talk about a lot is their family, their children, their spouse would probably be one of us, right? But the children as well. If they can't triangulate you with other adults, they'll triangulate you between the children and you and your relationship with them. They will fight. They will use them as messengers. They will make the children flying monkeys for them. And you're going to get the bad end of the stick. If they could help it, they're going to make sure that the children hate you by the time it's all over, if that's possible. I mean, if the children aren't seeing things from the right point of view. Number seven, the house will never be clean enough. It'll never be organized enough. It'll never be tidy enough for the narcissist. Why? Because the narcissist is perfect. And so that everything has to be perfect. They're black and white thinkers. They either love you or hate you. There is no in between. And when it comes to standards of things, they have to have the best. And they have a wicked sense of who they are and what their expectations are. They are entitled to the highest degree. It's a great way for them to devalue as well. Number 8, the narcissists do not perform household chores. They will do nothing. They may work a 40-hour-a-week job, and the covert types, a lot of times they can work hard, but they're not doing it for humanity. They're not doing it for anything except for them to get glory, for them to look good. But when they come home, the only thing they have time to focus on is their supply. That's it. That's a full-time job, keeping up with supply. But let's say their supply is just their family because they don't get out enough. They're not running the streets like they used to. Then they're going to use you and control you throughout the whole night and day as their supply. So they're not going to do any chores. Number 9, you can always find a narcissist in front of the TV or in front of their cell phone. And that's going to be the case whether they're married or single. They always need some sort of noise. They are very impulsive and they always have to be distracted from themselves. So TV shows and media and stuff is the best thing they can do if there's no people around. Number 10, if you can't find a narcissist, I know where you'll find them. They'll be in bed. Typically, the narcissist lives in their bed. They eat in their bed. They do watch TV in the bed, and they don't do any chores or anything. They field phone calls from their bed. They do everything from the bed. They never get out of bed. If they're not working, or if they're not cheating, or if they're not doing something for some sort of supply, they're going to be in bed. Number 11, the people and the children and the spouse that lives in the house of a narcissist, they don't feel like they are a family. They feel like they're servants for the narcissist, and that's it. All they are there for is to supply the needs of the narcissist by any means necessary. Number 12, the narcissist will always be bothering you if you live in the house because they can't be alone. And they don't do anything, but they want you to do it for them. So they're always going to be calling for you. They're always going to give you little jobs to do. They're always going to be creating chaos. So they constantly need attention. They constantly need attention. They cannot be alone. So if you're with them or around there, they're going to put you to work. And they're the never-ending jobs kind of person. You think like you want to just get it done so they'll leave you alone. And then as soon as you get that job done, they have another one for you. And then they have something else. They're always either chaotic or they're putting you to work. 13, narcissists will punish the people in the family if you rebel against their orders. They set out orders and an itinerary sometimes of what you're going to do. And if you come off from that, what happens a lot of times when you live in these families, you get annoyed. And you get annoyed because it's frustrating. You never have choices. You never have an opinion. They're always in your business. They're always on top of you, breathing down your neck. And you never really feel some sort of a safe comfort level. It's like your cortisol is just blasting all the time. Because you just don't know, man. And they rage out a lot. And they will beat you. So you're always concerned. You were taught to fear them. And that was it. You never really knew them because they don't want to know anything about you. They just want to tell you. They tell you what to do. They tell you how to act. And if you come off from those points of view, or you have a difference of opinion, then you're getting in trouble. You're getting reprimanded. That's rebellious. And they don't have an answer to your opinion because they're not free thinkers at all. Number 14, there's no genuine love in a narcissistic household. And you know that from being in a relationship with one of these individuals. They're just out for things. They're just out for distractions. They're always getting over on you. They hate humanity and they hate themselves. They hate their children. They hate their spouse. They hate everything there is about things that are living, life itself. You're never going to be happy in a narcissistic relationship, and the house as a whole is aching and ailing all the time. Number 15, the people, the children, the spouse, whoever is in the house, living in the house with the narcissist, they really don't want to be there. As far as the children goes, most of the time, they cannot wait till they get of age so they can get out of there because they're either devalued all the time, they're beat, they're destroyed, they're lied to, gaslit. They're told to do stuff that didn't have good advice or good intentions behind it. They'll lie to you and then say it didn't happen, gaslighting. And they're always out to sabotage you, to devalue you. They'll make fun of you. Even the gifts you get aren't even gifts that you would need or want because they don't have any thought into them. A lot of times they'll buy you things that you hate. And some people say they do that on purpose. And I don't doubt it because they hate life and the reality we live in. They think opposite of us. And so if they can belittle you, they do that often. And amongst your friends, if you have friends come over so you don't want to have anybody over, they'll say things to disrupt every good situation. That's why it's like you even go no contact with your family at some point. You get tired of it. Because even if you just bring up somewhere that you frequent, they're going to start going there. And they're going to ruin it for you. It's really devastating. That's why a lot of people will move out of state once they get out of the family household, because then they can blame it on something else like, well, I'm too far away. Really, it's that bad. Number 16, the people that live in a house, they can't wait to get old enough to get away. And typically the spouse can't wait till they can get their ducks in a row to get out of there too. But they have too much to lose. They've been threatened. I had been threatened. I mean, it's terrible. But in the case of this, which goes along with this, they don't ever want the narcissist home because they feel like they can have freedom for once if the narcissist is gone. So if the narcissist has an outing, it's like a vacation, a staycation. Go, I'll take care of the house. No, you go, I got this. But then you know what they're going to do? They may call you 1,000 times to check on you, to annoy you, and to bother you. It's like this is what a narcissist does. It's either that or they'll give you 15 jobs to do while they're gone, so you can't even enjoy the time that they're gone. The one day that you'd like to get a break, you got to do a bunch of other things, or it just be so happen like that. Everybody needs a break. And the narcissist makes sure that they don't have to do anything that takes any work, any appointments and things, and they're going to make sure that you do it all. And if they can give you a break, they're not going to. They would rather not. Number 17, the narcissist isolates the people in the household a lot because they need supply, they want control, they want power, they got to have attention, admiration, adoration, all of that stuff. They want you to be their servants. So a lot of times you'll get grounded. You'd get grounded for like 3 months or something at a time for something stupid. Or they would have all these rules like whether, you got to stay in today and you'd have to ask permission to do so much, just little stuff. Anything. And a lot of times you didn't want to have anybody over because they are the way they are. So a lot of times you want to be away, but then they give you such a hard time about it. So a lot of times they will isolate you. And that's what a cult does as well. To control you, they have to isolate you. 18 is everybody in the household, they get devalued so much and told they're wrong so much or gaslit so much that they just feel like they're wrong all the time. And that's not good for your psyche. It's not good for your self-esteem and your self-worth. And at some point, they always feel like they're wrong. 19, when it comes to the family unit in the house and the household, they just feel like they can never contribute in a good way because it's futile. Because you have somebody that's absolutely destructive at the head of the house and everybody's in fear of them. And that individual has control over the finances, the food, and everything. And so if you tried to make good change in the family household, it would get destroyed, it would get wrecked. And they would do it on purpose because their environment has got to be chaotic because they're used to pandemonium. Number 20, everybody in the household feels less worthy. They feel inferior. And at some point in time, you're going to walk away with an inferiority complex because you can't think for yourself. You have to do what you're told. You can't exercise any kind of, they're emotionally checked out. So you have no emotional support and you have to keep everything hidden. And if you want to do something, or if you don't want to get caught for doing something because you know you're going to get beat to death, you have to do things in a sneaky way. And you got to hide things and sometimes lie about things just to get a break from them. And it sucks. See, the narcissist, in a lot of ways, they would get away with things because they would become the golden child. But when it comes to everybody else in the household, they have to get punished. And so the narcissist gets everything they want. They get the nicest clothes. They get to do everything they want to do. There's no questions asked. because they're always looking out to do exactly what the narcissist wants. And the head narcissist will have them groomed to take care of their finances as they get older and to live through them. That is the child that is making them in their older age have some sort of glory because they're perfect. And so it's not healthy for anybody. But those are the 20 things that affect you when you live in a narcissist household, that depresses you, gives you anxiety, gives you paranoia. You feel empty, you feel alone. You don't feel alone because you'd rather be alone. You feel alone because you can't have any free thinking emotional thoughts and have an opinion. So you're forced to suppress everything. And a lot of times when a borderline starts out, a borderline is very, they're emotionally unstable to another level. But how a borderline becomes a covert narcissist a lot of times is because they get shamed for acting out with their emotions so much that now then at some point they become covert. So then they bury it, just like everybody else typically in the family. Because you can get a beating for anything. So that's what I got for you today. And I hope this helps somebody to run from the narcissist. But till next time, I love y'all. Peace. Till next time, soldier up. Peace, we out.